Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Warcraft replay here. Been a while since I last cast, but like I mentioned before, just casting whatever I find interesting. And this one I am looking forward to seeing what actually happens. Finally on the map Tidehunters. I don't know what I did, but I got it to work somehow. Just add another tick on why I really think the Warcraft 3's replay system is just hot garbage. Yeah, as we are not getting loaded in just yet. Yeah, this is gonna be from the Douyu Yule Cup Season 3, in fact, quarterfinals of the playoffs. I just wanted to cast this one first because this looked pretty spicy, and we will get into what exactly, what type of spice we have. Foggy spawning in as the red Night Elf player on the bottom right, and he'll be facing off against Chaemiko, the blue human on the top left here. Map is on Tidehunters, as I said before. Actually, the first time I've casted this map, obviously because of the reasons I stated earlier. Granite Golem camp here on the top right, with Sea Giants. That is an odd looking Granite Golem, but I think it's just because of the tile set. And we do have it's a red one, right? It is a red one. I wonder why this is a red one, just because it has Command Aura? I guess it is. Yeah, Murgle Marauder. Never seen that one before. Renegade Wizard Camp over here, guarding basically nothing. We have a Goblin Shop, Tavern, and a Marketplace in the middle line. We do have two expansions for both players. This one looks a lot easier to take, it looks like. This one with Gargantuan Turtle. Probably not. Oversea here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Goblin Lab on the high ground with a Rock Golem and a High Priest to guard. Yeah, it looks like a pretty standardized melee map to me, and we are just going to be spreading the wisps here for potential scouting. Footman Scout here for Chaemiko, as we have probably standard heroes, Archmage for Chaemiko, and Foggy going for the Keeper of the Grove. A little bit of freezing just for those unit models. Ugh, Warcraft 3, come on now. Sea Giant Camp is going to get cleared out. Relatively difficult one, but since it is Night Elf and Human, it is relatively easy to take out because of their early creeping capabilities. Fast Expand here, potentially for Chaemiko. This is going to be the first camp cleared out, in fact. I don't think this will give level 2 to the Archmage. Where on earth is he going? He can't actually access the Marketplace. He's just going to go for some early harassment, it seems. Foggy taking out the Sea Giant camp as well as going straight into the gold mine is going to get harassed by the Archmage. Let's see how successful he's going to be, as the Footman Scout is going to get entangled, but is he going to go... Oh well, he is going to go down. Level 2 on the Archmage, as well as Chaemiko picked up a Treant. Treant for a Footman, kind of a decent trade for Foggy, but overall not too impactful. Foggy's just going to resume clearing out the gold mine, as the Keeper is going to return the favor here with harassment. Force of Nature is available since he does have his tier level 2. I forgot the overlay, whoopsies. But the abilities are pretty much what you expect. Peasant is going to die to the Keeper of the Grove, but it's probably not going to be enough to get the cancellation down. If it was a Warden, there was the potential to force a cancel, since her overall AoE damage and I guess DPS is probably higher than the Keeper. Demon Usher, probably wouldn't have been able to, but it is a tough call because Chaemiko was pretty much there from the start. So yeah, defense was at 100% uptime, I guess. We do have tier 2 on the way, as well as a Tree of Life being placed down here, hoping to try and equalize this expansion, which Chaemiko was able to finish, as the Wisp is going to give the TP staff for the Keeper. It seems like he did sell his scroll for the staff and the boots. We'll be able to pick up another peasant and possibly a second one, as Chaemiko's Archmage actually comes in to try and deny that experience, which he was successfully able to do. Rightio, Arcane Tower is now done, but Chaemiko might actually lose himself another peasant here. There we go, Foggy able to pick that one up, but the Treants are now wiped out. Yeah, Wisp has been spotted, but it will probably just detonate itself eventually. Yeah, there we go. Bit of the mana taken out from the Archmage, but he does have Brilliant Aura, so it's not going to matter too much. As we do have just another green creep camp being cleared here by Foggy. Keeper hoping to try and get that level 3. Not sure if he'll get level 2 Force of Nature or level 2 Entangle. He looks like he's been focusing a lot on harassing, but oh, he actually levels up Entangle second instead. So trying to get that initial damage down on the footman to try and get a kill. I mean, the Keeper's taken quite a beating so far. Might be able to get another footman here as he try and sets up for another kill. Oh, actually no, Chaemiko misses out on a footman kill by a tick, and he will be able to run away with just 10 HP here. This footman, I don't think he was damaged quite enough. Ooh, yeah, and we did miss out on like a tick or two, but we do have a couple of archers to clean him up there. This footman able to escape the archer's eye, and we'll be able to live to see another day if Chaemiko actually remembers to heal him up. Oh, we do have a Tinker coming out as the second hero here. I believe this is the first Tinker I've seen since the Reforged, but either way, Pocket Factory has been learnt up, and he's going to place it down right over here on top of the Arcane Vault. Clockwork Goblin is going to start piling out of that thing, and, well, just try and do as much damage as possible. There we go with a little kaboom there. A little bit of AoE damage as they die. The only way to avoid that, obviously, is to just get out of the explosion range, which, honestly, I kind of wish Goblin Sappers had that ability, but that might be a little too much. But, I mean, come on now, it's Goblin Sappers. You just want to see those little things explode. Especially with the horrible, like, movement system that Warcraft 3 has, it's so hard to get them to explode consistently. But yeah, Foggy's gonna place down another Pocket Factory, and basically Tinker's job is just to be as pressuring as he can be. Although it is only level 1 Pocket Factory, you can see there that Chaemiko's doing a very nice job focus firing the factory as quickly as possible. So yeah, Chaemiko desperately needs that shop, honestly. His Archmage, without access to any easy healing, he is taking quite a beating in this game. We do have an Arcane Tower and a Guard Tower completed though, so Chaemiko will, he will be able to fend off against Foggy for a little bit. Keeper is acting as a frontline pressure. Meanwhile, the Tinker, I believe, is just going to farm it out by himself. Ancient of War creeping at the Rock Golem camp here is going to clear him out there. Rope of Magi +6, which is a really good item for the Tinkerer. Maybe even for the Keeper as well. But the Tinkerer is going to say thank you very much to that, as the Shredder is going to get hired up here by Foggy. Ancient of War trying its best to stay alive here, and it seems like he will be able to do so, as the High Priest is going to get taken down and the last Forest Troll is going to be wiped out as well. Level 2 Tinkerer is going to pick up the Engineering upgrade as his second ability. I have absolutely no idea why it is placed on the right of the Pocket Factory instead of the bottom, but oh well. Foggy is going to lose himself the Archmage. He did try to get the trade on the Archmage there, but Foggy lost his Keeper trying to get the trade on the Archmage, but the Archmage had a last second health potion, and he was able to deny that trade and just go for the straight up kill. As the Mountain King, we did see a Stormbolt a little earlier, able to secure that Keeper of the Grove. Keeper is going to get revived through the tavern, but yeah, probably should just full retreat here. Oh, as I say that, I've been a little slacking on the tech catch-ups here. Obviously Dryads here, so we do have the Ancient Lore tech. Mountain King obviously means that we have tier 2 for Chaemiko, probably on his way to constructing the Arcane Sanctums, already done in fact, and the Workshop is on the way as well for those potential mortar teams. Workshop looking pretty nice this game because, to my memory, every time the Night of Player's gone, the Warden, and yeah, the mortar teams are just Warden food basically. We're gonna have a Scout Copter coming out for first, just to act as a intelligence gathering machine, and maybe just a True Sight enabler, as the mortar teams are now on the way. We also have those riflemen being queued up, so this is a pretty expensive composition from Chaemiko. Rifle casters with mortar teams. It's usually just rifle casters or casters with mortar teams. But since we do have that second expansion, or second base, first expansion, yeah, you can actually afford to do so. +1/+1 attack and armor upgrade is on the way for the Spellbreakers, as well as the Knights, I guess. No Rifleman upgrades on the way at all, or any, I guess, mortar team upgrades as well. Oh, we already have +1. Never mind, I am super duper behind on that.
A player's forces are under attack.
Keeper will hit that level 4, it seems. Never mind, Tinkerer is there to steal some experience, as we do have a good number of Soulbreakers already on the field, so wow, things are going super fast. Bears are on the way, Tree of Eternity is already done. I believe we are at Master's Training, considering we already have them at Bear form. Yep. +1/+1 on their upgrades as well. So,
Player's forces are under attack.
not sure if we're gonna go for a third hero, but we do have +2 attack upgrades for the Dryads and Bears on the way. Another Force of Nature cast over there, and a Pocket Factory being placed down yet again. Keeper just needs 1 kill to get that level 2 Force of Nature. Will he try and fixate on that, or will he just focus on harassing some of these infrastructural buildings here? Red Murloc camp is going to get cleared out. The item is going to be the... I have actually no idea. Is it the Wand of the Wind? I can't tell, considering it's a red creep camp, but yeah, Pocket Factory, Foggy is going to be able to take down a farm there, thanks to the kaboom of that little clockwork goblin. Yeah, you can't really tell that that Chaemiko taken out a red creep camp according to his items. I guess the Wand of the Wind is the item he picked up. So let's see how well he uses that. It's just that these Dryads most likely have abolish magic, so Cyclones are not too useful in this particular matchup against the Night Elf player. Keeper being really annoying here with his level 2 Force of Nature is once again trying to harass, but there's just so many Spellbreakers actually on this side of the map that these guys won't actually find too much uses. Pocket Factory yet again being placed down. Oh, Chaemiko not actually, finally is going to focus fire on the Pocket Factory. It's just that since the Pocket Factory is counted as a building, the AI will just prioritize the goblins over the factory, so yeah, just something worth noting for Chaemiko. Is going to lose himself a mortar team, as he was unfortunately frontlined there. as we have a big major fight coming in. 57 for Foggy, 52 for Chaemiko. Lots of spell breaks on the front line there, as we do have a Thunderclap to try and affect those bears. TP Scroll is going to get channeled by the Tinkerer, but worthwhile trade for Foggy, honestly. Able to force his opponent to get out of the gold mine for a good while in exchange for the TP Scroll of Foggy. Not many losses have been suffered for either side, as you do have a retrain tome being used on the Tinkerer here. He's gonna switch his Pocket Factory over to the guided missiles, or not, cluster rockets, I think it's called, for the 1 second stun as well as additional magic damage. That is a weird retrain. He might have been afraid of the potential Spellbreakers getting control magic to control the Clockwork Goblins later on, but the Cluster Rockets, I don't know if it affects the Spellbreakers or not. It definitely affects everyone else, but yeah, let's see how this does. I actually kind of missed if it affected those Spellbreakers or not at that first Cluster Rocket, but the TP Scroll is going to get channeled by the Archmage there. Gosh, that's a lot of bears. +2, +1 still in terms of upgrades. Meanwhile, Chaemiko looks like he did TP to his expansion instead. +1, +2 on his Spellbreakers. Meanwhile, the Riflemen and Mortar teams are +1 still.
A player's forces are under attack.
Here we go with the combat. Foggy is gonna get mass slowed by those sorceresses. Roar does come down, but that was probably not a good idea. Cluster Rocket does come through, but it does not affect those Spellbreakers, so that is something worth noting. Fairy Dragon with the Mana Flares is going to force those casters to reposition themselves. Invuln Potion on the Mountain King as it drops down to 200 HP. Tinker probably has another Cluster Rocket available. There we go. More disruption on the side of the human player as Chaemiko, who just barely survives with his Mountain King. Never mind, the Dryad is trying to go for assassination. Oh, one more spare is needed. There we go. Oh no. Health potion at the very last second on the Mountain King, and those Dryads probably are going to get killed off as punishment for their transgressions, as Foggy, just not being able to get the killing blow on the Mountain King, is going to be forced to pull off there. Not sure what the wisps here are for, as we do have some hippogriffs in the air as well. I'm not sure why, considering we only have like a single flying machine. Probably just to cover his bases if his opponent went for mass flying machines. I mean, Chaemiko's not, so not actually sure what that hippogriff is for, unless it's just there to act as a scouting hippogriff. It does seem like a pretty big, pretty wasted spot in terms of resources and supply. But yeah, I am a bit worried about Foggy because his comp does seem to be a bit struggling against this human force. Just the fact that once Roar comes down, those Spellbreakers just instantly steal it is a bit of a problem. And yeah, I'm not sure if the Mana Flares from the Fairy Dragons are doing enough incidental damage to kind of change the tide of the game. Mountain King is super close to hitting that level 5, which is obviously a power spike because he will be able to get that max damage, I guess, Thunderclap. Roll coming through here. Archmage did hit level 5. He does have access to his max strength Water Elemental. Meanwhile, the Tinkerer and the Keeper are still at level 4 themselves. Keeper's super close to level 5, as well as the Tinkerer, but obviously they'll need to get a kill at some point. Slows are going to get cast. Abolish Magic trying to get rid of those slows. Meanwhile, the roars are just going to get stolen up by those spellbreakers. Now the Mana Flare is going to hit those sorceresses after they casted their slows. Thunderclap onto the Mountain King there as a cluster rocket's going to hit a couple of those units. The TV Scroll once again being channeled by Chaemiko. Probably doesn't want this fight. His front line's not actually as numerous as I once thought. Still only at 6 spellbreakers. I was kind of expecting more considering Foggy's just increasing his number of bears there. We are up to 7, 8 bears? 7 bears so far. Oh, 8 bears there for Foggy. Yeah, 6 spellbreakers is probably not going to be enough, as both players are just going to clear out their respective remaining creep camps. Level 5 on the Mountain King with access to level 3 Thunderclap for that for maximizing that AoE damage. Yeah, makes sense. If you're going to Stormbolt a Druid of Claw, you might as well just Thunderclap the whole bunch instead. Dryads are going to be unaffected by it anyway, so yeah, Thunderclap just makes sense. +3 gauntlets did get dropped here, but since both of the Night Elf heroes are actually full inventory, they're not going to be able to pick it up. Invisible Mountain King here might be able to pick up a Tinkerer. Oh, he does pick up the +3 strength as well, so that's just a little bit more damage for himself, as well as more tankiness. He's probably getting a juicy Thunderclap. There we go. Able to hit about 5 bears there, and it's going to force TP Scroll from the Keeper of the Grove. Both sides just trading TP Scrolls, it seems, as you do have more Dryads being added to the army comp here for Foggy at 88 supply. Chaemiko's still at 78, probably doesn't want to go into that high upkeep, but I mean, once he sees his opponent's army size, he probably has to. Still curious on these hippogriffs here, but regardless, they are here nonetheless. 95 supply for Foggy. He is still at +2/+2. I imagine it's going to be +3 very soon. +3 armor first, just to solidify those Druid frontline capabilities. Here comes the fight here. Bears trying to get into position. Probably not going to see a roll coming through, but nice cluster rocket. Actually, I do say nice, but it kind of hit all those spellbreakers instead. Roar is coming through here, as it just gets completely stolen. But Chaemiko's actually going to be one to recall, it seems. He was slowly getting overwhelmed, but Foggy's bears were... I mean, they were super battered. I'm pretty sure Chaemiko might have been able to win up on that trade, in fact, if he managed to just stick around a little longer. We do have Flare available for those mortar teams, it seems, so he can get occasional Farsight on the map. Yeah, the bears are super low HP, and with the Moonwells, despite... oh, actually, no, we do not have Wellspring, which is super surprising. We are already at tier 3. I don't know why we don't have Wellsprings upgraded. But as I was saying, since the Druids were already out of mana, essentially, it's gonna be really hard to heal them up with Rejuvenates. It looks like those Spellbreakers do have Control Magic researched as well, so any treants being spawned by the Keeper is going to be immediately stolen by those Spellbreakers. Foggy going around this ruin here to hopefully go for a flank, but it looks like Chaemiko did spot this with his flying machines, and he is going to retreat over on the bottom left side. No, actually he's gonna stick around maybe? Spellbreakers are going to engage against those bears, as we do have a very nice rocket hitting the majority of those riflemen and mortar teams there. Spellbreakers are going to be forced to try and hold these bears in line. Thunderclap coming through from the Mountain King. It's not going to do too much. He actually did it on those Dryads for some reason. Another rocket, very devastating there, hitting those spellcasters this time around. TP Scroll is going to be forced by Chaemiko once again, and we are just going back and forth here. honestly, this Tinker has been super, uh,
A
super
player's
duper
forces are under
impactful.
attack.
A lot more than I was expecting, because you usually, every time you think of Tinker, you just think like, oh, just place down the Pocket Factory and try and get maximum value. But rockets are, they're definitely convincing me this game, despite versing an army comp that half the units are basically magic immune to. I'm super surprised about this, honestly, and I'm still super surprised that Chaemiko's refusing to go into high upkeep, despite the
Town is under
clear
siege.
outnumbering that the Night Elf player has. Workshop is going to go down. That's actually pretty crucial, because we've only been on one workshop, and if he does lose any more mortal teams or whatever, it's going to be really hard to retrain those guys, because you'll have to rebuild the workshop again. Mortal teams absolutely destroying those dryads, as the spellbreakers are trying their best to keep those bears intact. Another rocket's going to come down. It's only a 1 second stun, however. It doesn't actually scale with level, so you gotta keep that in mind. But it's on like a 6 second cooldown. It's so spammable, honestly, that there we go. Point blank range. Pretty much all the spellbreakers are, I mean, they're staying alive, but the dryads are, they're so quick that they can basically just ignore them, honestly. We do have a surround on the keeper, however. But he is going to get preserved back home. Dryads, only a single bear's left, but honestly, just the Dryads remaining. They can just ignore the Spellbreakers and go after any of these squishy targets here. The next target, it does seem to be the Archmage. He does have a health potion, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Keeper is probably going to go for an Entangle. Oh, nope. Wasn't able to do so, as he did. Archmage did get a TP scroll channeling there. Tinker with his Robo Goblin upgrade. I believe this is permanent. I think it's permanent. Oh no, it's a toggle ability. Oh. I honestly don't remember anything with the Tinker's ultimate ability, to be honest. It rarely comes up, and this is the first time we have Tinker ult time. Armor supply wise, we're pretty evened up, which is surprising. 62 versus 64. Unfortunately, with the workshop down, we are kind of limited on not producing those mortar teams. We also are gold mine down, which is surprising for Chaemiko. He didn't actually take the opportunity to expand over here. Meanwhile, Foggy was able to do so with a new Tree of Life. I think, yeah, a new Tree of Life. So this is pretty much the final battle here, it seems, for this game. Chaemiko needs to destroy this expansion if he wants a chance to keep in it. But that is not a lot of units available for him. He has a good number of spellbreakers. It's just that there's no like main DPS available. Just a couple of a couple of riflemen and a couple of casters here. You can see that the AoE on that cluster rocket's so massive, and the Tinker is just going to clean up the rest of the backline units there. Dryads and Bears trying to just make do with whatever those spellbreakers are left. But yeah, it seems like this is going to be it. Archmage is going to pop an invuln. Mountain King does hit level 6 as well. Will we have the avatar form? I believe it's 200 mana, so he is unable to get that cast down, as GG's coming through for Chaemiko. Yeah, we did also get level 6 Keeper of the Grove. I'm not sure if he had the Tranquility available or any mana to that fact, but regardless, yeah, the Tinker's fun. I might actually look for more games with the Tinker in this particular tournament, because I do know Foggy's spammed it a lot on his second hero slot, so I am probably gonna look for that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Yeah, that was super interesting. In terms of heroes, obviously the army comps were basically the same as usual. But yeah, I'll see you guys again next time. Take care.